Well, welcome back to Dad's Shed again, and we're here at the Colchester Master. Now you probably saw my little video going around some of the trials and tribulations of getting this in here, and I said there that I'll do a quick tour around it to show what I actually managed to get hold of. When I looked at the advert for it, I saw quite a nice lathe. It is a gap bed 40-inch master. So it's the long bed and it's got the gap, so it will swing about 19 inches. So that's a good start. It's a 2500, so that's an even better start. And the nice thing about the Master, and I'll go down this way for a moment, and the nice thing about the Master is it has the clutch system. So if I press that, coolant is working, coolant is on permanently, but nothing's moving. However, push that down, spins up forward, or reverse, and the foot brake doesn't stop the motor. So, if I want to do screw cutting with it engaged, say it's a metric thread, I don't have the problem of having to start and stop the motor. I can literally stop it on the clutch or the brake, move it out of cut and reverse it, and it'll move away. So I've done a few quick checks on this. I've done the machining. It will take very nice passes. It will take, I've gone as far as 5mm per feed, so 10mm off the diameter, and it goes through that with no problem at all. So it's moving nicely. Screw cutting there, feed there, both cross and longitudinal feed work very nicely, thank you very much. I'll just turn that off for a moment. I've spent a bit of time going through and making sure it's lubricated, but what did I actually get? Well, this has got dual dials on it, metric, imperial. So for the first time I've actually got a lathe which will enable me, without a DRO on it, to swap between metric and imperial measurements. So cross slide and top slide both got dual dials. It has, sitting on the back here, an Angest rapid threader unit. Now there's a couple of little bits missing on that, and people who last used it, I think, only did machining on bronze and brass parts. I don't think they used threading at all, and they certainly didn't use the taper turning attachment that this has also come with. I've assembled the taper turning attachment, I've cleaned it up, I've oiled it, I've checked it, that's working fine. With the back end loose, no taper. Tighten the two cap screws down on there, and you'll get taper. It's really as simple as that. I've cleaned all the swarf out, and I'm going to make a couple of just flip over covers for it to keep swarf out of it. I've cleaned the swarf out of the adjustment screw there, so I can adjust it. It's now sitting more or less parallel, but yeah, you've got two ways. You can either just undo those two, and this back end will slide. If you're going to be doing a mix of parallel and taper turning, that's ideal. Or you undo the screw there and you can flip the whole thing up out of the way and then park this right at the back. So really, really nice. And I've been doing quite a few tapers recently, so that will be an absolute godsend. Obviously I can still do tapers on the top slide. The aim jest hasn't been used. So there's a couple of bits missing from it, but all that's missing is the stop block, which would be a bit of steel and some milling and a bit of tapping to put the lock screw in, and the actuating arm which comes out of here, which is just a press fit in there. So again, that's a little bit of turning, and that's all that needs to get the aim jest working. Now the aim jest is imperial, as is the rest of the lathe mainly, but obviously you've got the normal threading engagement there on the lead screw, so that you can turn metric threads on this as well. But it didn't just come with this, the lathe. And if I swivel this camera around a little bit, widen that out. There we go. Look at that. Look at this down here. It came with a rear tool post with the correct Colchester dovetail slide to go on the back of the cross slide. So that's another nice addition. It came with half a dozen tool holders, chucks, drill chucks, change gears, drive dogs, and the outside drawers for the two-jaw chuck. One of the multi-jaw J&S knurling tools, Colchester 4-jaw, and in the bottom here, which I'm not going to get out, is a catch plate, another back plate, a face plate, a drawer full of drills, and in the bottom here, which I'm not going to get out, is a roller fixed steady and a travelling steady. So all in all, I am very well sorted for everything I need to use this lathe. As I say, I run it up, coolant is working, nice and quiet, headstock. I am going to need to change the drive belts at some point in the near future, because they are looking rather worn. They're not bad, but they're showing signs of needing work. And the one thing I am going to do, and there's a piece of stock in here at the moment, and I've just got in a couple of thrust washers, because I don't like using the nylock holding this down if I want to turn the tool post. So I'll make a proper tool post nut and operating arm for it, and that will be the first job on this machine. So that is my new toy, and I hope that I'm going to get a lot of work use out of it, and you will get to see quite a few of the projects that go through there. Hope you found it interesting. Dad is going to have some more tea and then do a little bit of the work in the shed. Bye for now.